Hip hop is deeper than shoes and cool. So shouts to ReedMySole. He had a very passionate take on culture vultures and why they truly don't understand what they've bought into. And this video is called "My Ghetto Is Not Your Culture." Let's check this video out and then we'll talk about it more.
My ghetto's not your culture.
Niggas really die here.
So hard to say goodbye.
It's the only lullaby here.
Kilos turning boys to men.
Gotta pick a side here.
Some was Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Some of us were Nazis.
Because they don't understand the nuances of our plight in America. All they know is the trap, the bap, the rap, the crap, the drill music, the gangster, the rah-rah. They don't understand the nuance to everything. And this is why they get called culture vultures. People really forget that is actually a reason behind all of these things. There's actually a history. There's actually a knowledge about what's really going on here. And people skip past that part. They skip past the nuance and they just jump into something that they really don't know about. A lot of people think they could come in here and purchase cool because they're not cool. They may have some access to wealth or some access to money. So they feel as though they could buy their way into the sneaker game. They can buy their way into hip hop and it never worked.
Keep it real. He's filled out paperwork to come donate to $100 grand to a lot of the black small businesses.
I'm just trying to prove a point here. That these people that want to fight so hard about certain shit, why don't you guys do anything good for where you come from? I give out $100,000 to my city. I'm going to give out $100,000 to a lot of other people's businesses and stuff. Why can't they do it too? But I want to make that very clear, guys. I'm not only doing black-owned businesses.
You niggas drink their own street cred. Gets denied here.
You can't buy your way into our culture because it's real life information behind it.
That brings up a question. Has hip-hop become the most exploitative genre in the modern era of music?
Most definitely. We have invited everybody to the cookout and not really checked anybody's credentials or gone back and done the research on them. And we haven't even checked if they've done the research on what it is that they want to be next to. You know, there are a lot of people who come around, they want to be like, you ever been around like, and I know even though there's a couple white people sitting here right near listening to me, that white person who tries a little too hard, they're like, yo, yo, yo. And like,
we've all seen that.
Yeah. It's really,
you know, and it's like,
and weird. Yeah.
And it's like when they come around, it's like, okay, we see that you're trying, but we don't appreciate the way you're trying because it comes off as so disingenuous. And it's like, you think this is a show. This is how, you know, and the thing is, I can't even say it's just white people, because being a black child of privilege in the United States of America, and I'm talking about myself.
Come on now.
Where I've seen, you know, black kids who've come around maybe authentic situations and they haven't had the right mindset. You know, like I would never, despite how much I love hip hop, I would never act like I'm from a certain level of struggle and pain, because that is disrespectful to the people who have actually had to, you know, heat the house with the oven.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would never disrespect that part of the culture. You know, I can love the music, you know, but there is a certain part of me that was like, hey man, I have been adjacent to the struggle, but I can't exactly, being a black child of privilege in the United States of America, growing up very Huxtable-like, you know, I can't say I know exactly what these things are like. When people talk about, yeah, we flipping them birds, I really don't know what you talking about. Right? You know what I'm saying? And I have been vocal in saying these sort of things, but I think the fact that I have that level of awareness is where I can, you know, feel like I can still be close to the culture and not be exploitative of the culture. And I think that's where a lot of people like the Aiden Rosses, you know, where we come from, like he's coming from, it's almost like he's coming to the neighborhood is like, oh, wow, it really is like Boys in the Hood or whatever the he thinks, you know, and I just think that's what it is, because you think it's cool. You saw it on the screen, and you saw it on Yo MTV Raps or whatever it is you watched at the time, depending on your age. But then, like, when you have to see how people are really struggling, you have to see how racism and police brutality actually affect people's mindset. It's like when, you know, when Def Comedy Jam came out, like, there are people who are laughing at the jokes, and I don't think they actually got them and realize it's like, it comes from a level of pain. Like, that's how it's always been for African Americans in this country. Like, We have been able to turn, literally the bricks you have thrown at us and turn and somehow spin them into gold.
This video by Reed is super deep. It's I think 25, 26 minute video, maybe
About 20.
About 20-ish, 20 some change. But he talks about how he was the kid that had to live in shelters and his mom and what they had to go through and how he can relate to all the stuff that these rappers are talking about because he's a part of the actual culture and how there's a clip, and if you actually watch the video, where there's a white guy that has a shoe store. He's talking about nobody's buying sneakers. And Reed goes into detail about how culture shifts and how things changed and how people put so much money into buying the Travis Scotts and getting all this stuff and exploiting all the culture and buying into cool just for it to dry out because you don't know what you're doing. You just thought it was a cool thing to do. And I think that's something that has happened, since the beginning of time. And people truly don't get a chance to understand what the culture is. The culture, we always talk about the culture. Remember we had conversations about the culture. But everybody doesn't understand or relate to what actually comes with it. And that's what I took from this video. It's like, you can talk about it, buy into it, want to be cool, take photos, photo ops, the Aiden Ross clip. All that shit is corny to me because you really don't know what actually comes from it and how people are inspired from what actually are the roots of what's what. And when I watched this whole video, I was so impressed because he broke it down. The clips verses. He went into whole detail. I couldn't cut all of it, but he broke down a whole verse, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, people don't really understand the gems in these verses, and people are talking from experience. And it's unfortunate, but that has been happening, before we even thought about doing a podcast or talking about hip hop.
It's pretty much
genuine.
It's pretty much the history of what brought about hip hop. It was brought about from pain, from struggle, from escapism almost. And now it's evolved into a capitalistic machine that everybody feels like they can be a part of just to be cool. And granted, there are some people that are adjacent and understand it from the right point of view, but there's a lot of people that just see it as a money grab. Just being involved with hip hop and listening to hip hop to get money, or big up your favorite Drake verse and to act tough behind a mic on the computer has nothing to do with hip hop, man. It's very when you talk about culture, it's way more involved in that. So like somebody that claims that they're of the culture and have never experienced the culture have no room to talk about the culture. So you talking about you're giving money to such and such, like he said, you're trying to buy your way in. You can't buy your way in. It's either you're in or you ain't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a try hard. He's trying way too hard to be a part of something that he's not. And it's very beneficial to him because obviously he's getting paid off of it. Whereas the people that actually live in it, and this is why I always have a hard time with academics, because somebody might say he's of the culture, but he exploited the whole culture he had nothing to do with.
That part.
Which was Chicago gang violence.
As an immigrant.
He's never been to Chicago.
He is. He's an immigrant.
You know what I'm saying? He exposed Chicago gang violence and had no dealings or knowings about what was going on. It was just something popular to do. So like, you know what I'm saying? The what's it called? The fries wear many masks and they come in many different colors. So it doesn't matter that he's black and Aiden Ross is white. You can still vulture from this culture just for your financial gain.
Jump in, Spoolz. What you think?
Answer the original question. Yeah, it is probably the most exploitable genre in the modern era of music.
I think I have a question that maybe I think the other question might be good to pivot to.
The second one?
Yeah, especially I think that Brad and I could even speak on this, but
go ahead, bro.
Because I think it goes into probably what you're saying too to some degree. So why do people associate cool with black culture? Number one, and two, why do white people chase it?
Man, how much do we have?
I know, right? Yeah,
I can't speak.
I thought of this question. I was just,
he did. He put this in there. That's a damn good question. I can't speak on this. I don't know what y'all.
I don't know if I know the answer. Actually,
I don't know if I know the answer either, man. I will say this, I'll be like brutally honest. Yeah, I thought it was cool to me when I was 7 or 8 or 9 years old when I first heard it, because I never heard anything like it before.
Yeah.
Right. But then I don't know if it's just, you know, I wouldn't have felt very genuine if I didn't do my homework. Right. So that's just something that's important to me about anything that I happen to be taught, whether it be like we talked about, like slavery came up earlier. Like I've not just read books, but been to the places where this happened. And, you know, that's what's important to me. And because of that, I think I've exuded that amongst people and have been accepted in hip hop because of that. Not for, hey, y'all, what's going on, dog? You know, or trying to be like say shit like that. Like, no, I would expect
my Jordans.
I'd expect people
Look at this chain.
to tell
like
me
you never have done anything like that.
You're lame. Like if you were to do that, I got there by just being myself.
Right.
And as a result, I feel like hip hop or the culture or whatever you want to say has accepted me for sure a long time ago, to where like I don't think about it like that. I'm just like I've been a part of this for a long time.
This is who you are.
Yeah.
At the end of the
There's
day.
no need to act about anything. I get to just be me. You know, so sometimes it's hard for me to try to put myself in the
perspective of like an Aiden Ross or something like that.
Yeah, it's really difficult.
Same.
It's cringy, and it's. I'll say stuff around certain people, and I'll be like, "What's this dumb white kid know about anything?" And like buddies of mine will be like, "Damn, you know, like you're white, bro. Like, why did you say this?" Because I was like, "Because this is ridiculous."
Yeah.
You know what's crazy, Spoolz, is to piggyback off what you're saying. You know, I've known Lone since we were in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the few times I will get mad or defend someone as it relates to somebody trying to question his authenticity, because I know him. Yeah,
if you're just secure in yourself too, like it just don't.
Bro, like that's, to your point though, it's like when I'm spoiled because I'm not going to say spoiled, but I'm torn because I see it. I've seen you or Lone or whomever. I understand when it's authentic, but at the same time, it's like when I see the Aiden Ross, I'm like, yeah, that triggers me a little bit. But there's two sides of it, because I've seen these guys that have actually put the work in, embody the culture, and are authentic. You know what I'm saying? So I have to deal with that, because you know what I mean?
I follow you.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I want to answer one part of what the question is. Why do some white people think black equals cool?
Yeah.
I've got a small theory on that. I can't prove it all the way out, but I've done a lot of reading.
When I thought of this, I was like, I literally internally was like, why is this a thing?
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
In a way, it's the way it's kind of been marketed to us over time, in the way that what is assumed to be black culture, which I don't think always truly is what black culture is. I think it's sometimes it's a caricature, and to me it's disrespectful of oftentimes of like the total black experience, in my opinion, from the way that I see it. Right, it was packaged to try to look cool. I mean, and I'm talking going back to, well, we can go even further back than that. For a while, it was taboo. White women going to black jazz clubs back in the day. Oh no,
smoking weed.
Oh my God, like. You know,
race records.
There's that part of it, and then the taboo turned into something cool somehow, right?
Yeah.
Now, it cheapens what I think is the full diaspora, for lack of a better term, of what I think being black probably means.
Right.
I think it's a cheap version of it that's easily sold and packaged to people, and just like a lot of other things are in this country, people like that little quick, you know, like, oh man, I can just listen to Lil Wayne. I don't have to go down to the hood. Oh, cool. Like for a lot of people, that's enough for them.
Right.
And even Trump, right? Recently, you know, black people love me. They know a scam when they see one. I was like, God damn, that's disrespectful to black people. Like,
talk to them.
You can't put, and that's the same when you say gay people or anything. You can't put a whole group of people into one.
Not monolithic.
No group is, for the most part. You know, so it's disrespectful in that way. But for people to think that packaged version is representative of all black people it's wild to me. You know, but you know, how did it become cool? I don't know. I think it was the way that it was packaged. I think for some it's kind of this, I don't know that lifestyle. I know nothing about it, and it looks dangerous, and the way that it's packaged, it looks kind of cool, and you know, I can get away in this community here with mimicking it because I'll never go to the community where it actually happens ever. Right. So I don't know, but again, I think it goes back to the way it was packaged, the way it was marketed, and it in my opinion, it has tremendously cheapened the overall understanding of Black history and thus American history.
Well, I think that, and once again, I'm probably taking this from somewhere, and I don't remember where it is. So whoever said this first, please forgive me. America loves the rhythm, but they don't care much for the blues. That's too hard for them to digest. So they love coming around for, the cars with the rims, the gold teeth, the ass shaking, and the bass. But, when it comes down to, like I said earlier, having to heat the house with the oven, having to go see your friends in jail or going to the funerals.
I was just going to say that. How about it's fun to shoot, and everybody's fun and it's hilarious and all this other shit. But have you ever been to a funeral?
Yeah.
They have
it is extremely sad, and it puts a lot of things in perspective really quick.
It is traumatic, and it is something that a lot of times people are living with every day, and they try to, the pain that it comes with a lot of the things that you think are cool because, like, you just listen to the gangster rap and you see, Sexy Red twerk on stage with no shoes on, like you think that is cool, but then there's another side to it that you have no interest in trying to experience. And so, like I said, there's a lot of people who, they can get with the rhythm, but the blues is too much for them to try to deal with.
That's real.
I mean, I had a buddy and we've talked about this in the past, just to jump in real quick, but it's funny because there's this group of white people. I feel like sometimes I can give like insight into like these groups of whites out here.
These
But it's like,
microcosms.
I love Snoop Dogg and I love Michael Jordan, but I would never want my sister to date a black man.
Yeah.
That white person, there's a lot of those folks out
I mean,
there.
there's a lot of those people culturally all over the world. Like
They love
literally
black
in every
culture, but they don't they don't have any real love for black people.
Brother Ali says in this, he's talking to his son. It's a song to his son where he's talking to his son. He's like, they don't love you, but they love your culture.
Yeah. Like it was like the scene in Do the Right Thing where, Spike Lee's character is talking to, I can't remember the character's name. And he's like, oh, who's your favorite basketball player? Magic. Who do you love? Prince.
Sal.
And then it was like,
Sal. Yep.
Yeah, Sal. Oh, no, he didn't love it. He was like, he was more for Springsteen. And he's like, yo, all your favorite people are N-word, you know what I'm saying? But then like you have this problem with black people, and that's the problem. That's really what America is. It's like so much of quote unquote black culture is so ingrained in what it is, everything that we do, whether it be the food, whether it be the music, whether it be the art, whether the dance, or the music, TV, whatever.
Oxtails used to be cheap.
And
just leave it at that.
No, for real. You're very right.
That's
but then, when it's time to actually have some sort of empathy for black people, it's like that's a bridge too far.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah, I wonder sometimes if it's just like or as I'm sitting here listening to you guys talk and thinking about it myself, it's like, I wonder if it's just the proximity, the ability to almost look at something from like a movie type of lens, but it's like real life. It's I can see this and I can be a part of something that's kind of like real around me, but I don't actually have to be a part of it.
You've seen a lot of these YouTube channels that'll go down to like the hood. Like it's always some white kid that I'm going to Compton today, or I'm going to go talk to the Bloods today, or something like that. It's strange, and very few people who do those videos do it in what I think is like a good or respectful, tasteful way.
None of that
it's almost like,
tasteful.
and I hate to say this, but it's almost like come to the zoo. That's the way that they're showing
exactly
these
what
videos, and it's just like, God damn, like this is insane.
I'm going to take a picture in front of the Compton sign or the Marcy Project sign. It's like,
but it's still interesting. But still, at the same time, with all this being said, it's still interesting and fascinating to me how black culture and hip hop culture, maybe it is marketing, maybe it is these things, but it's still fascinating to me that maybe it's just like something that white people just can't have.
Could be
to some degree too. It's like it's not yours and you can't have it because you're not white.
Well,
and
let's talk about the history of the country.
So then you're so fascinated with it at the same time that maybe that leads into, because there's a very distinct thing around blackness being cool. And it's
to lame white people.
to everybody.
Yes.
But even again, like you'll see everybody. It's even projected in a way to where you will see online. You'll see black people and black content creators at the same time saying like, you can't be cool. So it's almost like bought into the thing of where blackness is cool. Blackness is the cool thing, right? And so like to your point about the marketing, if that is how it was marketed, it's almost like black people took the marketing and was like, all right, we'll run with it. And you can't be a part of it.
I think it's a
Bill Burr talks about comedians that do that. Like there's always some hack comedian that's like, that guy, he's just so cool and laid back, and telling them, oh, the stuck-up white guy, you just gotta calm down, man. Just take it easy, be cool, man. He's like, but I can't. It's just hacky. It's hacky, man.
I feel like it's a lot of trying to erase the lines going on as far as culture is concerned, especially in America. Now, hip hop and black culture is American culture.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But it's like when I talk about trying to erase the lines, it's like everybody wants a piece of that culture. Like even with social media, I always go back to social media because social media clouds a lot of judgment. You might see this cute white kid do something that he learned from somebody black in the hood now.
Or on YouTube.
That's just American culture. He's just doing, you know what I'm saying? He's doing what he's doing. It's blurring the lines. It's like it's trying to take from a culture and make it your own, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't exist in every facet of life, but it's like that's what it's coming to when we talk about Aiden Ross. He's somebody that just sees the culture as something that I can benefit from, and hey, this is just me culture. This has nothing to do with black culture, and I can feel how I want to feel until some street cats tell you can't talk about black women like that, and now you got to backpedal and say that you quit. You quit now. You know what I'm saying? You don't quit the culture. Either you are the culture or you're not. It's not something that you can just put on and take off. You can't quit it. And like people that are authentically involved and create inside of the culture and are welcome into the culture can see the fakeness. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what it boils down to with this particular individual.
Yeah.
But why does he think that why does he care about being cool? Like, and why does he think that this makes him cool?
Because
it gives him
capitalism,
access.
Clout.
It gives him access. If he could go, because the thing is, if he could find a way to make the same amount of money, for lack of a better term, on the other side of town, he'd be gone. You know, and he'd be like
just another way to exploit some shit.
The same way Kid Rock, when he came out, he was, trying to have the fake high top fade and on tour with Too Short and trying to, do that. And then once he figured out he could make music on the other side of town and put on the Confederate flag and do what he's doing now and shoot Bud Lights in his backyard, he's going to do that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that happens within, you see a lot of white people like they were all down with hip hop and they wore the baggy clothes, but then they said, hey, I'd like to be white now and I'm going to get my money being white. Yeah. And then they completely put our culture down and we're left with that guy we thought was cool and he doesn't come around anymore.
And it's not just for high school and college. Either you with it or you ain't.
Right. Yeah, we talked about that back when I was on the show a lot. Like people act like they grow out of
what is our culture isn't something like that's not something I'm never going to grow out of this. I'm going to be in a walker still, maybe have some Timberlands on and a jersey and and still be what I can have on a suit, and I'm still gonna have on Wu-Tang Clan socks with my suit at a and I already got the pictures of that because that's what I do.
How much do you think the reinforcement of people liking and continuing to watch his stuff makes him feel like
validated?
Yeah,
it makes him feel emboldened because he's like, why do I have to listen to these people? Sure, I lost my deal with Nike. I said I'm sorry, not because I'm actually sorry, but because I lost my deal.
And I need that money.
100%.
Yeah. I think that goes into the whole cool piece. It's like, why does he think that it's cool to do? Or does he? You know what I mean? But anyways.
Have you guys seen this kid Neon that got popular by we
talked about that.
rappers?
Yeah, we talked about it.
And then got show, how is he still walking
He went
around?
on the Breakfast Club and they pretty much
yeah.
You guys ever think hip hop culture is too accepting?
Yes,
it is.
Definitely.
100%.
Because we're still I don't know, I don't think we should be, but we're still excited to be like, hey, look, some Chinese people like it, and then white people like it. Hey, everybody come to the cookout. And I was like,
I think the culture
we need
itself,
to stop that.
Yeah, the culture itself is too welcoming. Just because you see somebody, and I think I talked about this an episode or two ago, somebody that seems cool because of one thing they did that you deem acceptable and cool, then you invite them over. No, it's not about you just doing that one TikTok dance and all of a sudden come over and eat some ribs with us. You know what I'm saying? No,
that's real.
It's not like that.
Well,
shouldn't be, at least. You know what I'm saying?
It's interesting, man.
Oxtails cost a lot of money right now. I'm gonna keep going back to that.
Shout out to the oxtails,
because that's part of the culture. And I'm not even just saying hip hop culture. This is just part of the culture. Like, people would buy oxtails and cook them up, and now that since they're popular and everybody knows what they are,
price is going up.
Now it might cost you $10-15 to get you 2 oxtails.
That part.
You know what I liked about when I was doing music or being a part of what I would consider more like underground hip hop culture, because we weren't like, on MTV or whatever, was like you couldn't fake the funk.
Yeah, you couldn't.
for sure.
As much. You can buy your way into being a popular rap persona, no matter what you look like in this industry.
Yeah.
But on the more underground side, like you have to know your shit. You need to be somewhat good at it.
Yeah.
And
or somebody would check you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
That's
just what
I
it was.
like that part about.
Yeah.
You couldn't half step or fake it there, because you would get. I've seen people get laughed off of and pulled off of stages.
Yep. Same.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bring back bullying, and the shame campaign is still in effect.
100%.
Shame these mother.